Okay, step number one in creating your CO2 car drawing. First thing you're going to do, you're going to get a piece of this 18-inch by 10-inch wide paper from Mr. Smith. That'll be me. And then you're going to go around and you're going to put, as always, when you start your drawings, we're going to start off with a 1/2 inch border. So I'm going to mark it 1/2 inch all the way around the paper. 1/2 inch. I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines in and get my border done. It's a little tricky because it's a little taller than some drawings you have made, so you're going to have to shift it a little bit to get the whole drawing in. All your drafting tools nice and square. Come in here, get a vertical line. So I missed at the bottom corner a little bit, so I'll come in and close that up. So keep everything square. Okay, there is my 1/2 inch border around my paper, and that makes it kind of nice. So now, got all my drawing area. I can come in, clean up corners, make sure everything is nice and neat. Remember, that's part of your grade, keeping things nice and neat. Okay, there's that. Next step, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8. I'm going to mark out 5/8 just like we did in our other drawings. I mark every 1/8 of an inch for the title block, and then the 5/8 of an inch. Remember, 5/8 is the top of the title block. Then I'm going to measure this. I'm going to measure in about, I think I can measure in about 4.5 inches from this side, and I can measure about 4.5 inches from this side. That's 4.5 and 4.5. I'm going to divide my title block up into 3 sections. This measurement isn't crucial. We just need a place to put our information in our title block. And then I'm going to come in on the 1/8 inch guidelines that I made, and I'm going to draw nice light. Remember, when we get to this point of the class, if you are not making light lines in your title block, then we have a problem, and I'm going to take points off, and I may even make you come back and erase and redo them. So keep them nice and light, please. Okay. Okay, scale on this drawing. I've given you a nice big piece of paper, so the scale is going to be full. We're going to draw our CO2 car full scale. The date. Don't know what your date is, but my date is February 14th, Valentine's Day. Close top 4, comma, 2000, and whatever year this might be. Name. Remember, for your name, your last name, comma, first initial. On the course, it's not drafting any longer. It's Wood Lab, because it is your first Wood Lab project. And in here, CO2 car drawing. And we're going to get everything set up, and then I'm going to pause this, and then we'll go to part 2. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure in 1/2 inch from that border, and I'm going to measure up 1/2 inch from the title block, and I'm going to get those 2 very first light lines that we did on our block drawings. I'm going to get a light line drawn here, very light. That's the bottom edge of my car. And I'm going to get a light line going here all the way up. And that's going to be the right side of my car. So nice and light. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying out this block. I'm going to measure it. and I can see that this block is 12 inches long. So all I'm going to do from this point where those two lines converged, I'm going to mark it out at 12 inches, and I'm going to draw the end of my block up, and I'm doing this one just exactly like we did the block drawings. I'm going to draw this one vertical, light line. It's going to represent the end of my car, just like that. Okay. The overall height of this block, by the way, I'm drawing the block this way, not that way, so I can get the detail on the end. Okay. The end of this block is, if I measure it, it is 2 3/4, and that's the overall height of the block. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to make this drawing 2 3/4. I'm going to go to that point. I'm going to measure up 2 3/4, and I'm going to draw a line across, because remember, I'm not putting any detail in right now. All I'm doing is making the original block before the cutaways put in it, and then I want the height so I can show the right side of that block too, so I can show the cartridge hole. Okay, I have front view of block. Now I've got to have some space between, and I'm going to keep those at a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make it a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make it a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to draw. Remember, this line is just for the space between the views, there and there. Then all I have to do is I just have to measure the width of the block, and this portion of the drawing is complete. Okay, this block is 1 3/8 wide. I'll show you that. It's 1 3/8. So, and that's exactly what your block is going to be. So I'm going to count up 1 and 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to make a mark. If it's 1 3/8 from, whoops, get my head out of the way. If it's 1 3/8 from that side, it's also 1 3/8 from this side. So I'm going to go 1 and 1, 2, 3/8 of an inch. Then I'm just going to draw this line across, and I'm going to draw this line vertically. So if I'm keeping everything light, I laid this out exactly like we did our practice block drawing. So I have the front view, the top view, and the right side view of our car. Okay, I'm going to pause this, and then we'll go to the second part.